Oh.
Gotta love a bit of Sifo. And the boys here for Team Supremacy opening with the shots as to Mickey Bianch with it nicely done, but Dumbo saves for his team of the All-Stars on the blue side. I'll get myself all figured out with the colours and schemes of how the teams want to play. And let's see how they really set up tonight. Interesting play there. Sifo on the end of an attack with the Batmobile. Can only go wide, not really going to the goals right now. Mickey with a touch, heads it back over, cross out. Here's Dumbo with a chase down into the corner. Hits it up. Richard Love, a possible chance to open the scorecard, but a hit stop at the crossbar, and not a sure thing. Finished it off for Alpha Sydney. A nice little passage to play there, Christers. And it all started with Dumbo chasing the ball down the corner.
Yeah, and just sorting out the overlays for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not your eyes that are deceiving you. It's not actually Sequential Gaming still playing against... it is Alpha Sydney on the blue team versus Team Supremacy. And a big shout out to the patience of the Twitch viewers, who I'm sure were quite understanding of how things were going and not yelling at me at all in the Twitch chat. So it is 1-0 right now to Alpha Sydney, and we've seen Dumbo with a couple of Jam Gaming top 5 plays in previous weeks, Biza, and he'll be looking for a repeat performance of that sort of play tonight against Team Supremacy.
Speaking of Jam top 5, they could put in the special moments crisis following with the overlay. I reckon that'll go in nicely.
Oh, you could actually do a montage of that. There's probably enough footage to do a montage. A great save. The halo on top of Mickey Binaj there keeps it out. Great play there, but it's met in the midfield by the boys in blue and still kept in the offensive zone for them. But eventually they just kind of lose interest in it. And it's now in the hands. Oh, a pinch! Oh, Sifo! Who did he pinch that against? He gets the long goal credit. It was with Dumbo. No, in fact, with B-Bears. And the power on that. 130 k's an hour, Biza.
Yes. As we got some Take My Energies in the Twitch chat. I love it. And one for Sifo right in the moment of him obviously using the energy to score there. Nicely done for the boys of Team Supremacy. They get themselves back into it. Draw stakes right now with 3 minutes remaining. Mickey has to save. In fact, he didn't save. He popped for his team. Here's Dumbo with the little touch. Pops it up. Flying, not a sure thing. Can't make it at the moment. And it's back down to the defense. B-Bears going full ball at this. He's left it on the wall and Dumbo hits it back out. Mickey with the touch. Sets it up nicely. B-Bears has to put into reverse. Sets it up for Sifo to finish. Goes wide. Can't put it in the back of the net. Up goes the Dumbo. He's going to do a little bit of a touch fancy. Mickey knows what he can do. And he goes up to Maidem, stops the ball in the process. Richard Lover works it in front of the goal, and he gets defensively hit out here. Both teams doing very well at the moment. Crisis is looking very exciting.
Yeah, great play there by Sifo in the Batman, the Batmobile, that new DLC that's come out, and the feature of last week's giveaway. So if you don't have it, you should be playing and watching in future. I don't think we've got any giveaways tonight of any DLC, but look at this. Look at that beautiful car over there. The only reason I don't have it, Biza, is because I'm a little bit salty at the moment. But that's neither here nor there. It is 1-1 with 2 minutes of play to go.
I'll know where you're salty.
Alpha Sydney and Team Supremacy.
And don't take that the wrong way, Church Public. I can see where that one's going. It's hook, line, sinker. There we go. Here's a shot comes from Mickey. Oh, and he finishes it. Talk about sinking the ball. He does it nicely. Straight into the back of the net. Courtesy of Richard Lover's whiff. Done nicely there for the boys of Team Supremacy. They take the lead, which is a good start. And the Warring Fan All-Stars will be smiling right now. Crisis.
Yeah, they're in the lead with 1.5 minutes to play. And they are well matched so far tonight against Alpha Sydney. It's a low-scoring game so far. And so they can feel pretty confident at this stage of their ability to defend hard, defend well, and keep the equalizer out of their goal. But it's in the blue zone right now. A great touch from not a sure thing. And Dumbo tries to change the direction of the ball, gets the angle just a little bit wrong, and now has to fall back on defense. The ball sitting up. Oh, it goes through. And B-Bears with a great shot there scores the third. And Alpha Sydney have gone to sleep. The All-Stars cheering in their seats as Team Supremacy get themselves a 2-goal lead over their opponents.
Nicely done by Vives. Look, it wasn't one of the most powerful goals, but the momentum as Richard Lover tries to put a ball in. Oh, I don't know what's going on. That should have been a goal. It's hit the top of the crossbar and bounced back down. Oh, he's spewing at the moment. He has to work back into the favour. Dumpo goes flying. Poor B-Bears. I was giving him a shout out and lost it in the process. Oh well. Continued to follow the ball right now. Sifo wraps the wall downside, sets it up for B-Bears. Dumbo hits it out nicely. Up goes Sifo for the centre. Mickey has to work it to the side as well just to set his team back and give him another chance at it. Richard Lover flying, dropping dangerously in the middle. Dumbo goes, but not realising where Mickey is. Jumps down on the advantage of the ball, but it's heading back here. Chance for Alpha Sydney. Try and score, Crisis, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen right now.
Yes, Sifo with great control in the air, gets the necessary touch, deadens the ball, and then he gets a deflection.
Oh!
The halo on Richard Lover saves the 4th goal from going in. A great opening round from both of these teams, but after a couple of minutes, a couple of quiet minutes, Biza, it was all about Team Supremacy.
And shout out to Team Supremacy, the former B team being picked up last week, and then getting a nice match out there. That's interesting from Alpha Sydney. What we're expecting to be sort of Alpha Sydney's way, because Team Supremacy have had a little bit of a struggle this season. It's gone completely the opposite, and Alpha Sydney right now, I think there's a lack of chat going on because they're all going at the ball. They're doing their thing, but they're not doing it well. And
I don't know. It just uncharacteristic to see so many whiffs in the air. They're just misreading the ball, and maybe we'll keep a little bit, keep an eye on the pings for a little bit, just to see if maybe there's lag that's interfering or something like that, because it's uncharacteristic for players like Dumbo and Richard Lover to be caught flat-footed like that and miss their aerials. So look, maybe they just needed to warm up as we go into game number 2 of Alpha Sydney versus Team Supremacy. And Team Supremacy, they need to win big tonight, and they have set themselves up to do just that. But the opening goal goes to Dumbo as the demo happened just off screen there. Not a sure thing, with a good little touch there. Dumbo into a wide open goal. Sifo on the scramble, just not able to get there. 1-0, just like in the first game, in favour of Alpha Sydney.
Yeah, it was almost a clever demo. He sort of just blocked Sifo out because Sifo was coming to save, at least push the ball to go wide, and gave Dumbo the opportunity to score. So there's a little bit more to the eye than what the general public saw there. Sifo at the moment, just sitting with him in his Batmobile and looking pretty specky. Just waiting for that ball. Let's head back over. Mickey with the touch, heads it wide to the wing. B-Bears, where is he? Sitting in the middle, decides to lead that off. Mickey with the touch. Dumbo deflects it out to the wing. Not a sure thing with a touch. Dumbo's with the second, but it goes over the top, drops down. Sifo now past. It looking dangerous as B-Bears taps Hez.
Oh, great
Mickey
shot!
with a shot. And what a dangerous play from the boys of Team Supremacy. It was nicely done there, and you could just see by the touch of B-Bears, it was set for a great goal.
Yeah, all 3 players involved there. Sifo popping it to B-Bears, getting the angle on 45 degrees angle over to Mickey, who finished it off there. Beautifully done by Team Supremacy, but straight away Alpha Sydney, Richard Lover gets the reply off of the cheat, really. Yeah, great play. Just off of went straight through after the centre and picks up their second. So back into the lead just like that.
That's the beauty about it, Crisis, is you can go back and forth. You can have all these goals. You can have all these tight contest plays. But straight off the bat, you can actually convert really easily. And most pro teams, they usually put goals in within the first 10 seconds of any conversion rate. As we see Sifo with an opportunity to convert. There is Dumbo with a save, pushes back out to the corner. Mickey setting it up. Both players for Alpha City, not a sure thing. Dumbo go up the wall. Doesn't really clear, sits dead in the corner. Here comes the B-Bears to set. Dropping now, Sifo puts it down a little bit quicker. No one coming through. Here's not a sure thing to hit it off the wall. Richard Lover with the touch as well. Heads it down to the forward. Caught out. Just high ball at the moment. Sifo hits Richard Lover out of the way. Gives B-Bears chance to try and do something as Mickey B works the back. What are the Team Supremacy doing? Just mucking around at the moment, aren't they?
No, not at all. Mickey B got a bit of a body block going on onto a lurking attacker. So I think they just were looking to be disruptive more than anything else and look for the opportunities to take control of the ball out of doing that. Now they're into the blue zone. Are the boys from Supremacy. Almost call them B team, would be no, not too roundly criticised if I had done so. A chance goes begging. It's up in the air again though. Well read though. B-Bears jousting with the defenders. The shot on goals goes just wide to the top left of that goal face. And the Alpha Sydney boys managing to defend that one Bizer and come out attacking themselves.
Yeah, at the moment, the defensive here for Team Supremacy. Up goes Sifo to work it to the side. Mickey misses the touch. As you say, the whiff. B-Baz coming through, hits it nicely, but Richard Lover reading well as defensively hits back over the top of him. Mickey doing nicely too. I'm going to find a couple new words, Crisis. Back over the top. Can Alpha Sydney put a go in? Let's see if they work it. Here's not a sure thing with a chance. Oh, it's like a segue. Give him the opportunity to score. Give him the lines, and here is the man, not a sure thing, with all the distance, time in the world to put that goal in the back of the net. Nicely done by Alpha Sydney. Now got the buffer they need. It'll be interesting because this is the scoreline of the first one, just the other way around. Do we see the boys at Supremacy put a couple more back in, bring it back, or Alpha Sydney take this one out, Crisis?
Sifo tries to get the solo dribble going. It's knocked away from him, but then carried on forward hugely. We're with Richard Lover right now. He's picked up the ball, pinched it against the wall, carries it over, sets it up for his teammate, and not a sure thing is there to score goal number 4. Beautifully worked down the side over there. We had Sifo concentrating too much on disruption and playing the player, not the ball, and got himself into trouble. And there is goal number 4, Bizer, with Alpha Sydney coming back with all guns firing at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing very nice at the moment. Still an opportunity for the boys of Team Supremacy to get themselves back into the game, but they're going to do it quickly here. B-Bass with a double touch gives an opportunity for Dumbo to score. That's not a short thing. Crosses to him. Back over. It's an open goal. All B-Bass, you cannot stuff this up. In it goes. And Sifo doing a little bit of party tricks at the end there with the demo as well. There's an opportunity here for the Team Supremacy to get back into it. 2 goals down at the moment, 4-2 on the scoreboard, Crisis.
Yeah, B-Bears doing what he needs to do to give them a chance to get some sort of a comeback. 1 minute and 10 seconds of play remaining. B-Bears again with a good bounce. It's going to come off. Oh, he just misses it. Almost another solo effort from him. And Alpha Sydney will be counting their lucky stars as they get on to the counter-attack. Sifa with a good touch. It's not quite good enough to get it past Richard Lover, though. Richard Lover carries it across. Dumbo with the response from the defenders. Dumbo now gets a good touch. It's over the goal face, but carried too far over. B-Bears now joust with Richard Lover. He's gotten the ball out, but it's met in the midfield by not a sure thing. Up into the end, looking to flare is Dumbo, but the ball defended away, and Dumbo has to kind of pick himself up and get into the midfield. Buys a good passage of play, attacking pressure from Alpha Sydney, but no goals just yet.
Yeah, and that's the key point. They've just held Supremacy back in terms of scoring opportunities and just stemmed the flow of the momentum because they had it and they were moving very aggressively to come back, and they've just done well. So Alpha Sydney with the last opportunity, Dumbo sets, and not a sure thing. Can he score and make it a hat trick? He certainly can. Oh, not a sure thing. Have a look at the touch play. Dumbo, double hit, the flip, not a sure thing. Well, can't stuff that up. That's nicely done by the team of Alpha Sydney, and the comeback is real here with 1 second to go. So I say the comeback's real.
No, the comeback's not real.
No, it's not. Oh, jeez.
Miracles would have to happen. And we are going to go 5-2. The boys from Supremacy keeping the ball in the air, looking to pad the stats a little bit. Oh, in fact, both of the teams doing great work, keeping that ball up. This is the longest after time. They're keeping it in the air. Dumbo gets a good touch to it, passes it to B-Bears. He pops it up. It's gone back and forth across the field, and finally it touches the ground. Great sportsmanship from both of these teams, and the GR goes out from them both. By Alpha Sydney even up the series 1-1.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I expected. I expected Team Supremacy to come out, do a little bit of a knock around, Alpha Sydney to come back with a bit of strength. What we're seeing right now, and lock your focus on that, not a short thing, up the top, 3 goals, 6 shots in total. He's been a little bit quiet the last couple of weeks, but he's there for a reason. We've always known it. Not a sure thing. Carrying this game back into it, the Alpha Sydney team back into it. So big shout out to him. Let's see if he can continue his dominance and his form, and Alpha Sydney push through, or the Team Supremacy pick up the next round, and we go into a really interesting match series.
Yeah, a little bit of good-natured banter going on between the two teams. Alpha Sydney on the blue side, and on the orange side, Supremacy playing right now, not just for themselves, but for the other teams who are in with a chance. Oh, the shot from Richard Lover, haloed by B-Bears, and now Sifo carrying the ball over. Not a sure thing, goes up in the air to meet him. He whiffs it just a little bit, but it's okay. Richard Lover is there to provide the cover. Now into the midfield, the ball goes again right across the field. Sifo looks to control it, doesn't quite get it. It's moved over to B-Bears, who's misread it, but thankfully for the Supremacy, Mickey is there to pick up the ball and stop the goal from going in again from a long shot from the midfield. Alpha Sydney, though, back on attack. B-Bears, no, it's going all the way back across the field.
Don't. Oh, that would have been a golden light if I saw that, because the set and play pop and almost finished. Was almost there for the boys of Team Supremacy. Richard Lover was sitting on top of the goals, waiting for that ball, and hits it out in the process. Mickey's done a flip. It goes past him. He has to try and keep it out, and he does it nicely. A lot of, what are you going to say? It's a very patient man, Mickey, to be able to work that ball when you know it's right in front of your goal. He now has to wrap back around in front of this play. Goes to cross it over, and not a sure thing. Hello. You don't hit the ball. I'm going to finish it off, and how did that panned out?
Yeah, the cross comes over from Richard Lover, and not a sure thing. He should have the shark topper on, man. He was circling there forever. Picked up the ball and took a good chomp out of it. 1-0 right now. The donut's still on the board for Team Supremacy, as Alpha Sydney now not quite, I wouldn't say well in control, Bizer, but they're in the lead, and that's the best place to be at this stage of the game.
It is indeed, as they work back to the defense. Richard Lover letting the ball come through. That is not what you want to do. You want to clear the damn thing. Richard Lover, he's missed this, and Sifo hunting him like there's no tomorrow. B-Bears as well, finishing it off. That is how dangerous Team Supremacy is. They're 7th on the ladder, but they're dangerous. You let the ball go through past the goals, you don't hit it, that's what's going to happen. They finish it off, and any good team would do that. As an opportunity, Richard Lover to make up for the mistake, has the shot on goal. B-Bears, the man saving it for his Team Supremacy, not a sure thing, can't get the ball past Sifo. An opportunity, Richard Lover finishes it. Nice goal there from the boys out in Sydney, and now they're out in front here, Crisis.
Yeah, you'd be forgiven if you were a little mesmerized by what the auto cam was looking at. Not really the ball in the center, but we switch over to Richard Lover, and he picked that up off of the wall and powered it in. 2-1 right now in favor of Alpha Sydney, and this is edge of the seat stuff. Mathematics come into play out of the result of this game, and the first thing that has to happen is the boys from Supremacy need to pick up a win for the mathematical chances of other teams to make it through to the LAN event. He's equalized over there. Alpha Sydney, of course, they want to get their hands on that 4th berth, Bizer, and so they want to get themselves back into the lead in this game, number 3.
Dumbo with a touch up. Alpha Sydney going attacking styles. The Richard Lover, well, he's hit it back over the other side. Sifo will clear for his team. Mickey with a touch defensively back, going to the other side. Dumbo and Richard Lover, well, they've called it. Richard Lover's going to work and do his best to try and set it up for his team. It's going back defensively for Alpha Sydney. B-Bears chasing it down. Sifo sitting there, up goes the Mickey to fly, but he's left the entire defensive line open. But Alpha Sydney too slow to work it down there, and they're all back with the boost in hand. Save anything coming their way is not a sure thing. Fires across the screen, misses the ball in the process. Mickey with a touch, works it to the corner. Here's the shot coming from B-Bears, but Richard Lover beats him to it. He has to go back up, the Richard Lover, and pops it down. Dumbo with a touch. An opportunity. Can Alpha Sydney finish it off? Richard Lover flying for it. Oh. Just a little too wide for him to finish, not a sure thing. Whiffing the ball once again as Dumbo comes back around. Oh, well, the boys at Alpha Sydney with a good passage to play here, Crisis.
Yeah, the boys on Supremacy maybe a little bit nervous. We've seen B-Bears a couple of times do the Schmeeble special, the double backflip. I'm calling it that because apparently some people think that he does it. I've never seen him do it. Doesn't matter because the ball flying into the orange zone. Oh, it's just missed. It was a fake though. B-Bears carries the ball forward or sends the ball flying forward. Mickey Binaj looks to finish it but whiffs the ball instead. So it's back on over with the Alpha Sydney boys on attack. And not a sure thing, tries to float the ball down. The defense is good though. Mickey picks up the halo and clears the ball away.
Yeah, the guys are locked at 2 apiece at the moment, and both teams are looking dangerous to convert, but the defenses are so up to the occasion. It's not funny here, Crisis, as B-Bear taps the double play down the wing. Sippo with a set. Up it goes, it's dropping. The man in B-Bears for the shot. There it is! Oh, Richard Love, I don't know what you're doing. He put me off because he was sitting on top of the goal, and he was trying to do a dive save. Have a look at this, Crisis.
Oh,
pretty much impossible. Oh, he was dead close to doing it.
B-Bears did another little backflip there with the double touch, and he recovered sufficiently to get a good angle on it and score a goal there. He'll take comfort from that. Hopefully he's not been too hard on himself with what's been happening with those double touches. He picks it up in the midfield, controls it, passes it over to a teammate. It's disrupted off of the crossbar. Good touch from Mickey, though it changes the direction of the ball, puts them back on attack. Sifo with the cross, looking to create something with Mickey. Who's it? Sifo that's followed him there. Sifo now in the outfield there, tries to get a dribble on, doesn't quite make it. It's sitting in the dead zone for ages, Biza, and then finally gets cleared out with Dumbo setting it up. The dunk's not there. Richard Lover takes the shot. It's off the crossbar, and the scores are still in favor of Team Supremacy going into the final countdown.
Still an opportunity as the ball sits high. It's dropping. Supremacy want another goal, but they just let it die dead instead. We're happy with the win for now, but the story is they're in front in this series, which is 2-1. We head into the fourth. Team Supremacy with the chance to finish it off and hold Alpha Sydney back on points, which is really interesting to see how that goes. I don't know. Alpha Sydney, it's a challenge for them tonight. I think they expected walking into this match to be an easy win. Maybe they'll be challenged a little bit by Team Supremacy, but I think with the pickup from B team being Team Supremacy, they've really picked up the gears in terms of how they play. They're looking a lot stronger tonight.
Yeah, doing very, very well. They're 2-1 up in the series right now. It's a series of 5, and they will be looking to pick up their third win and secure a victory. They take a shot, or Mickey crosses it over. No. He gets credit for that, but a small defensive error is what converted it for him. Richard Lover flying back, Biza, trying to get a defensive hit onto, well, a defensive interception, and just misjudged it.
Well, the ball was flying across, so it wasn't going to go in. And if there was no one, he probably should have looked at what was behind him and blocked that instead. He's just given an easy goal away, which is, okay, well, look, that's a moment in the game, and it might be defining. It's early in this fourth crisis, so look, there's plenty of opportunities for the boys at Alpha Sydney to put goals in the back of the net, but it might be a defining factor. Let's see how it plays out at the moment. Richard Lover trying to make up for it, flying high. Deflection comes out by Mickey, saving a goal, and now the opportunity with the pinch back. Dumbo's waiting for it. Stiffer goes up, preempting, but can't get the hit on the ball, and he's going back out. Dumbo now doing his work. Mickey with the touch, hits it back forward for the Supremacy boys. Not a sure thing with the defensive hit. Just momentarily hits it off the wall as Sipho comes through and clears. It's dangerous in front, and now we see that opportunity. Richard Lover, this time not wanting to hit it back in, lets it go across goal, and just when we thought the boys at Team Supremacy were going to add another goal, it didn't happen, and might again. No, it won't.
Yeah,
Alpha Sydney do a nice defensive here.
Yeah, B-Bear's flying forward a little bit too fast there. Didn't quite get the air that he needed, but that's okay. On defense, he's picked up the ball, passed it over to Sipho on the wall. He's in the midfield to pick it up. The demo comes through though. Richard Lover says, stop talking about B-Bears, switch over to me. I'm the one that's going to do the next fantastic move. As he gets back on defense and gets himself turtled in front of the goal.
That was a great
3 minutes to play. Team Supremacy in the lead right now. They're leading the series, and Biza, they're doing quite well on defense, but 1-0, it could turn against them at any moment.
Oh, it's getting very, very messy at the moment. A lot of the boys are running into each other, both teams, and you can almost see a couple of demos coming out of it. Alpha Sydney getting a little bit desperate. You know, they're a goal down at the moment. It's tight. No one's scoring any goals. They're really working overtime to do anything here. Richard Lover with a second touch tried. Heads back down. Dumbo all the way down to the offensive line. Just misses it as he flies it over the top. Leaves Sipho to clear for the boys of Supremacy. And he's going to follow down the wing. Demo not a sure thing. But the Richard Lover's good enough to work the rebound back out. Mickey with the touch. Back the offensive unit goes for Supremacy. Flying the B-Bears, the wonder of the man. Pops it up for the second opportunity. Richard Lover comes around and saves. Still attacking here. Mickey's with the touch. He follows through. Can't get it as Dumbo clears. And Alpha Sydney, well, they're being forced right now to play a big defensive structure in this game.
Yeah, the boys of Supremacy putting the game on and putting the attacking moves together. Sipho looks for the interception there, doesn't quite get it. Mickey's there in the midfield though to pick it up. He gets it against the wall, picks it up yet again. B-Bears right far in deep defense, gets a good touch to it onto the wall, combines with Sipho, that's on target, and this time the percentage plays go in their favor. Sipho gets the credit off of that. Almost a pinch though, and Dumbo just whiffing the ball as it goes in 2-0, and Supremacy looking very, very strong to take out game number 3. 1 minute and 46 though to play. Biza is a long time in Rocket League.
Yeah, but the way they're playing at the moment, I think it's almost, and I dare say almost, just give me another 30 seconds and I'll guarantee it. It is an almost playable situation for the boys. Yeah, I don't want to be made a fool of, mate.
Don't worry. Nobody remembers that you make those mistakes. Look at the presidential race. CNN have been calling it for anybody but Donald Trump all year long, and Donald Trump has just about won the nomination. There's a couple of attacks coming through. 2-0 is Supremacy's lead right now. They've got a 2-goal advantage and a 2-1 series advantage over Alpha Sydney, and they have been keeping the pressure on all game long. Just 3 shots credited, but Biza, they've kept it in the offensive zone for the majority of the game, and that is really what has counted in their favor.
Well, this is the last couple opportunities Alpha Sydney are going to have to make, and they need to convert on target. Not a short thing with the touch, hits the crossbar, back out. Supremacy all over the defensive hit. It's still defensive, but Mickey now works it forward. Sipho wants to touch. Richard Lover with his save. 30 seconds remaining. All down to the last 30. Can not a short thing work it? He does to the side, but B-Bear's waiting for it. Will set it up dangerously. No one there for Supremacy at all, just to attack. So I think they're just trying to kill the time down. Here's a shot, not a sure thing. The second from Dumbo hits the top of the crossbar. B-Bear saves it out. And I dare say, in fact, I will say that this is it. And the boys at Supremacy will beat Alpha Sydney as they put in the last
B-Bears!
goal.
Man!
We're the beauty of a bench.
Oh, man! He just nudged it. It's like he's dancing with his mom in the kitchen. The ball bouncing back and he pops the hip out, taps the ball and gets a great cut. And the 3-0 up for his team. Supremacy are going to win this series, B-Bears, Biza. And with a 3-1 result, we've got one more game to play. But what excellent play. From the team. I think they've decided they've won the game and they don't need to play the 5th.
Well, they'll be back. They'll be back. We're already up on TV2. Called out that. Wow. Well, look, just going off the first game with Team Supremacy, they just look strong. And to the occasion of the night, we've still got a game left, but they're just looking so strong, dominant. Their first to the ball, they're setting up nicely. They're taking their opportunities, but they're niggling. They're absolutely niggling Alpha Sydney. Like there's demos in there. They're hitting them out of the way. They're blocking the shots. They're even playing with the side ball. So Alpha Sydney are having their shots, and look, they've put goals back in the game, but they're doing it in drips and drabs. And what we usually do see from Alpha Sydney is Richard Lover and Dumbo scoring. Haven't seen that tonight. They're pretty much on droughts right now. Not a sure thing is carrying a little bit of the load. So I don't know what's happened with them, but generally they score a lot. But maybe the player Team Supremacy has caught them off guard.
Well, I tell you what, a big call from Ozzy Osbert in the Twitch chat right now. He has said another one confirmed at land. So kind of the opinion that the mathematical chances of the All-Stars not quite good enough, and another one are going to be making it through to the land. Of course.
They are.
Well, of course they are. They're going to be in the third spot. So another one may be confirmed. It's a question around whether Jam Gaming is going to get through.
Yeah.
And while we've been talking about maths, some excitement has been going on. Mickey B scores in the first 10 seconds.
Empty defense and rolls it right in. Yeah, Crisis. Look, the only team that can possibly get knocked out of the finals from now is Jam Gaming, and All Stars and Alpha Sydney. Just going off the result of this game, have the potential to go on there if Jam lose 2 games in a row. Now, if Jam wins 1, they're guaranteed. So we'll be waiting off their game at the end of the week to see how the results pan out with the last week. And last week might be just dead rubbers playing for points and all the stats for the end of the season. But
what exactly is a dead rubber? I've heard, I know what it is, but why do you call it a dead rubber?
Because at the end of the day, whatever result happens, there's no movement. The result is you're not going to land, or you're going to finals, or you're not. You might move down. So like they used to term in cricket when the series is already run, but they've got to play out the 5th. So right now this game's a dead rubber because the series has already been won.
Well, somebody needs to tell me like the origin of it, like why. There's got to be something. Like is it like the rubber around the handle of the cricket bat is like folded off or something? I don't know. Where's the story come from? It's 1-0 right now. Maybe someone in the Twitch chat can tell us. As Supremacy back in the lead again. No, but Richard Lover with a nice finishing touch there puts the ball in for the equaliser.
And what is he doing down there? When the ball's defensive, he's just sitting up in there. He's ninjaing a goal. That's all he was. Shout out to him. He's gone all me. I'll wait to see what Dumbo's got to say about that. But Alpha Sydney getting back a goal here on Team Supremacy. Can the Supremacy actually take another goal on them? Because you'll be looking at doing maximum damage to actually get the boys of All Stars a chance if it pans out with Jam Gaming. So to Team Supremacy to continue to go nuts on the ball, or do we see Alpha Sydney pull a couple back and go, hey, no, we still have control?
Well, I suppose technically Alpha Sydney are still in with a chance, even if they lose the series. So they're going
to keep playing.
Oh, there goes a shot on goals. Oh, B-Bears with a halo keeps it out there. So yeah, for the purposes of the for and against situation, Alpha Sydney have everything to play for at the moment. Sifo picks up the ball, carries it to the outfield. It's intercepted there, but B-Bears with the follow-through. We're switching over to the auto cam as Richard Lover picks up the ball, carries it forward beautifully. It's up in the air. Dumbo doesn't get to it before the defenders do, though. It's still sitting in this orange zone, but nobody to come through. Richard Lover was scrambling on a defense, and well, he should have, because they have been punished several times tonight by Team Supremacy. Now the ball looking, well, almost, I was going to say strong for the boys in blue, but no, it's Supremacy who are on attack again. Of course, Supremacy, their logo, I think, is actually in orange as well. So Maybe that's what the difference has been tonight. Their logo matching up with the team side that they're playing on. They're in their home colours, Pfizer.
It's amazing what an org can do, picking up a set of players and give them just a little bit of a fresh air. And it is change is good as I'm not going to bother going down that with that because I usually fail at them. But you know what I mean. It's just the fact that they've had that and someone recognise them has just given them more motivation to play a lot harder and show that they're worth it. At the moment, they've got the defense going on. B-Bears flying just to save the wall. Not doing much at the moment. The ball's sitting high in that corner. Richard Lover goes up, knocks Dumbo out of the way. A little bit of miscommunication. Noshim, not a sure thing, working back, goes up and saves the ball to the side. Nicely done for Alpha Sydney. Back out from Dumbo. B-Bears for the touch. Mickey to the side, sets it up by Richard Lover. That's the good hit onto the side. The follow-up by Sifo does nicely to get it out wide and hold Supremacy back with this a draw at the moment. The golden point scenario. It might come down to that, Crisis. You never know. With 50 seconds to left, not sure who's going to break the deadlock.
Yeah, it's a very, very tight game that's been played by these two teams. Neither wants to drop the game. Kudos to Alpha Sydney for lifting themselves after losing the series. But with 30 seconds to play, it might be nice to have a golden point situation. Get a bit of hype out of this. Sifo with a good couple of touches as he carries the ball over. Richard Lover in the midfield. B-Bears picks up the ball. The crossbar. Where'd the ball go? Oh, B-Bears. Oh, he finished it off himself there. It was off camera. Thank goodness for the action replay. He picked it up and got a good touch to it. And with 18 seconds to play, Biza, it's 2-1 in favor of Supremacy.
Nice touch by B-Bears. Gets their team in front and see if they can put another one on with 15 seconds to go. It's Sifo this time trying to work it, but Richard Lover beats him and clears it at the moment. And there's the Bears with the touch. Countdown clock. One of the boys is back defensively. So 2-on-3 situation, defensive half. He comes out now to save. Well, we're down 0-0 and the ball's aerial. Let's see if they do the keepies up. No, they'll kill the ball to die off right now. And the big thing tonight is Team Supremacy with the upset of the night, because honestly we thought we were going to see Alpha Sydney pick up the win. And instead we see Team Supremacy, the new lineup of B Team, take this series out 4-1, Crisis. Big night.
I mean, that is a big result for a team that has been struggling a little bit in the Premier League. So kudos to them for coming out with all... is it guns firing or is it pistons firing? I think it's all pistons firing is more appropriate.
I thought it was guns firing. I don't know. We love them, Miss Nonas, don't we?
Yeah, either way. A good game by Team Supremacy and Alpha Sydney with a little bit of a disappointing performance. But look, if anybody was going to drop a game in the week and still be in with a chance, it was going to be Alpha Sydney. So they will take heart from the fact that with a little bit of hard work, they will be able to get themselves back into the series and back in with a chance at that fourth spot at the LAN on the 18th of April. So I've got the scores up there, Biza, for games 1, 2, and 3 of the week. And that is going to be it for this evening. We're not going to have another one versus Jam Gaming. Of course, Jam Gaming putting out a press release today just saying that Nugget, he's employed. So for some reason, he has to do his job on Wednesday nights. I mean, the priorities. No wonder the Rocket League Championship isn't coming to the Oceanic region. It's because players are prioritizing their jobs with their bills to pay over playing Rocket League, which I just don't understand.
Well, I do. I'm sure you don't. Doing nothing over there in the NZ land. But here in Australia, you've got to work for every penny you do. And shout out to Nugget. I'm sure Jam Gaming will work something out. And shout out to CG for working with Jam Gaming and the other teams that can't make the Wednesday nights. Look, it's been a good series and a good season so far. Let's continue with that. Small chance for All Stars now. It all depends on Jam Gaming. And speaking of Jam Gaming, when they schedule, if they lose, and I dare say if they lose against another one, I don't pencil them in for sequential gaming, and I'll make that call out there. I don't think they're strong enough to beat sequential gaming. That opens the door for All Stars to come through flying colours. Look, we go out for Sydney tonight. They're 2-4, with their for and against to be 11 and 19. With All Stars, they're 2-4 right now. Their for and against is 14 and 16. So they've got more for and less against. So they're going to have the higher rank over Alpha Sydney now. So All Stars are the contention. If Jam Gaming don't win this week, they could possibly get in there. And this is what I say, a small chance. So we've got to here in the studios, we've got to consider all options. There is the option for it. But if Jam Gaming win against another one, which would be a big game when they do play it, they're secured and locked into the finals going into the last week.
That is going to be a massive game for them. So we'll have a look to see if we can cover that game later on in the week, whenever it is scheduled for. Because
we'll find out and we'll get there.
It is a crux game, of not just for those teams, but also for a bunch of teams involved in the Cyber Gamer Premier League. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fantastic night of Rocket League, brought to you by Mwave, Turtle Beach, Netgear, Logitech, AK Racing, and of course Plantronics sponsoring the MVP prize at the LAN. Tonight we need to specify an MVP for the match that we've just had. So, Biza,
I was almost about to remind you, but you've done it for me. Be best, fantastic all night, scoring opportunities, following up work, defensive hits. He did everything, and he did everything really well. I think Mickey Beckett almost pip it off him, but B-Baz is my favourite.
Yeah, Mickey B, a close runner-up. B-Baz, you could see the nerves were getting to him from some of the controller issues he was having. We'll just call it that. But in the end, he came through, and that's really what counts for your team. So that is it for tonight. Of course, another shout-out to those huge partnerships that have been announced by Cyber Gamer today. NVIDIA, MSI and AOC coming on board with their partnerships. I mean, they're not even calling them sponsorships, Biza. They're calling them partnerships with a Cyber Gamer. So that just tells you how huge this is for the Oceanic region's esports scene. So massive kudos to them. It's been a great night. Thanks for joining me, Biza, and a huge shout out to the viewers in the Twitch chat. I think we peaked at about 140, 150 viewers for the midweek match. That is great. Keep an eye out on the Twitters. Follow Biza and I. We'll be spamming out whatever Cyber Gamer says, that's for sure, and the boys at Jam Gaming say, in terms of the scheduling of the match between Jam Gaming and another one later on in this week. Any last words, Biza, before we sign out?
Yeah, we should recap on the first game of the night. Sequential Gaming taking a 5-0 whitewash over Space Animals. Just recapping that, and the MVP was M for that, and the win there, 4-1 Team Supremacy over Alpha Sydney for the second game of the night. That's all I really needed to recap on. And shout out to everyone listening, and hashtag push for the Biza face. I did do
that. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. That's it for tonight. Thanks for joining us.